स्टार्ट करो और फिर पहले एक थोड़ा सा फिल्ट्रेशन दे दो आप कि उनको एक हम वो हेल्प कर दें.
A very warm good evening to all the students over here. How are you all? Wow, amazingly great. It's indeed a great pleasure to see all the young, amazing aspirants at Unacademy IAS. So this particular program is not, yes? Yeah. So this particular program is not a usual session where, you come, you hear some things about UPSC and you kind of, this is a syllabus. No. You have come here with a lot of hope to get something extra or something special from the eminent bureaucrat, from the top educators that you can see on the poster, right? So now in today's session, we have our amazing chief guest, none other than Mr. Armstrong Payne, sir. And he's quite a very popular IAS officer because he's not just a bureaucrat. Rather, I would put it across as an eminent bureaucrat. Why? Because he has made a history in what he has been doing over the years through his life as an officer. So whether you want to be a normal officer or somebody who is quite known in what you want to do, and he is a true living example of the same. So in today's session, we will have amazing insights from sir along with the other discussions with regard to how you should effectively do your preparation so you can clear UPSC in the very first attempt. So now, wholeheartedly, I welcome you, sir, at Unacademy IAS. It's a great pleasure to have you, sir, here. Yeah. In spite of his busy schedule, sir came just because I was just having a 5-minute interaction with him. Sir told me that no matter whatever meetings I had, I didn't want to miss talking to the young brains of our country, India. So he's here just because he didn't want to miss talking to you people who are the future officers for our country. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yeah, stage is yours.
Is the presentation ready?
Yeah, it is ready. It is on it.
I'll do it. On the presentation. Yeah. Is there a pointer? Good evening. For those of you sitting at the back, would you mind coming a little front? And yes, my only request, please do not do the video recording. That's why I've come physically. If you want to see many of the online videos, I think there are sufficient materials, including my videos and talks online. I want you to give your attention here because I love interacting physically. In fact, I want to tell you that any of the talks, invitation that I get now, I accept only physical talks. Be it IITs, IIMs. On 26th of January, I went to IIT Kanpur, had a good interaction. On the 10th, IIM Lucknow, I had a good interaction. I only accept physical interaction now. So my only request to you again, do not take videos. I'm here with you for 45 minutes. I'll give another 10 minutes for question answers. let me clarify certain things. I'm not here to tell you how to prepare for exams, what book to study, because the time I gave the exam was about 18 or 20 years ago. Say I started my preparation in the June of 2005. I gave 3 attempts. Well, Nisha was saying to crack in first attempt. No, I'm not that brilliant to have cracked in first attempt. I wrote 3 times, 2 interviews. First attempt, I did not make it through the mains. Second attempt, I got a little low in the interview. I got in the Indian Revenue Service, Custom and Excise. The third attempt, I made it to the IAS. So I'm not very brilliant to have made it in the first attempt. Nonetheless, I'm here to share you a little bit of my sweet journey, the last 15 years of being in the government service. And I also have been hearing from people, especially whenever I go to Labasna to address the foundation course for those people who have cleared the exam. After my talk, they would all come to me and say, "Sir, it's so nice to meet you in person because we've been reading about you. We wrote about you in our essay paper, in our ethics paper, this and that." So I don't know what is ethics paper because in my time it was not there. So maybe you seeing me physically and interacting with me physically may encourage you a little bit if at all I appear in your ethics paper. Okay? So I'm here to tell you a little story of my journey to encourage you if at all you need encouragement. The good news about UPSC exam is this. The questions asked in UPSCs are not the toughest questions. I was telling this to the students at IIT Kanpur just 2 weeks ago. The questions asked in UPSCs, I'm sure it is much, much easier than those asked in IIT JEE. I studied physics, okay? So in physics, we imagine things which are not there. Imagine in a vacuum, you have a metal ball and a feeder being thrown down at the same time, and you have to calculate the velocity of both falling down. Those questions are not asked in UPSC. That's a good news, right? They ask you something which you know very well, which you know pretty well. Example, arrange this answers in ascending order. Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati, or Satle. You have to arrange this in ascending order of its length. You know all of this river? Just that you have to know pretty well. So the fun of UPSC is that, they will ask you most of the questions which you are pretty familiar with. As simple as Narendra Modi ji is the Prime Minister, is the 13th, 12th, 14th or 15th Prime Minister. You just have to know pretty well, right? So that's a good news about UPSC. The another sad, equally not sad, but equally challenging thing about UPSC is that there are too many people like all of you who wants to be there. 10 lakh people filling up the form. I don't know if the number have increased by now. Just for, in my time, 120 seats of IS. Now it is, I think, usually 180. Say, if you combine all the service, 1,000 seats, 10 lakhs people filling up the form, finally about 5-6 lakhs people writing the exam. The number might have increased by now. So that's a challenging thing. So there are a few things which I thought I would share with you to keep you going. This journey of UPSC, one thing that you need is constant motivation. Suddenly you wake up in the morning one fine day and they say, I want to give UPSC. You start buying books, join coaching classes, whichever you feel is the best in the market. 1 week later, you lost motivation. 6 months down the line, you've forgotten where you started. In that process, you will not be able to make it through the exam. You need motivation to stay in the race. As for me, why I thought I'll start with you this afternoon is this. This is me in 2012 of June 2012. The first guy in the green shirt. Why I thought I should share with you this afternoon, life interesting challenges and overcoming them. If any one of you feels that you are from Bihar, Jharkhand, Orissa, the most tribal parts, the most remotest part of the country, and your parents, your uncles, you have no relatives whosoever is or was in the bureaucracy, or my family is too poor to support me in this journey, I want to tell you one thing, that your background doesn't really matter to be where you are if you want to be in the IAS. I've started this journey. Imagine, can I just click? It just moves. How do I go on to the next? Here? Okay, so if you look at the left side, I think, can you please remove this podium? Excuse me. Can you just remove this podium? Is it movable? For some student to see properly. Thank you. So, I don't belong to the right side of the board. I've come from this place of the world, in the country where we happily live and call India. I've come from this side of the world where getting basic education, roads, all of these are still a big challenges. Imagine in different parts of the country, the kids gets dropped to their schools. Like I'm dropping my kids every day to schools. I grew up from these circumstances where we stay in a district headquarters. Whenever we have vacations, 3 times in a year, we go back to our native village walking on foot for 2 days with swollen legs. I grew up from that. My villages saw electricity for the first time in 2012, October. Road connectivity came for the first time somewhere in August or September of 2012. I'm sure many of you are born with electricity and roads in your villages. Correct? So, if any one of you thinks that background matters to be in the IAS, actually I want to challenge you that it actually doesn't matter. If at all it matters, it should only be there to encourage you. That's the first thing I want to say. Imagine sick people being carried on bamboo stretchers to be taken to the nearest hospital. That's the place from where I come from. So, I wanted you to accept this, irrespective of your background. You may be born as children of your parents might be bureaucrats, doctors, engineers, non-employed, peon. You know, the present DM of my district right now, His father was a grade 4 employee in a primary health center. He and his elder brother both became a doctor because his father had been working with the doctors. He wrote the exam, made it. Now he's in the IS. I want you to be encouraged from that. Life has been a difficult journey for me, no doubt. But I was never bitter about it. I took it as a challenge to make me to be a better person. That's what I've always believed in. Background has been tough, but I've never been bitter about it. I've never complained. I said, this should only make me stronger. You all must be reading about the 100 kilometers road initiatives. If you are very new, I don't know, but if you've been preparing UPSC for the last 3 months, 6 months, that's what people say they study in their ethics paper. This is the genesis. On the 10th of June, or somewhere, I don't remember the exact dates, 2012, as an SDM of Tausiam subdivision, I had to tour most of the villages on road because it was not motorable. Be it rain or summer, sunny day, I took this journey touring villages. This was one of them where I went and inspected the possibility of road construction. After I came back, I sat down with about 300, 400 people from different villages, and I asked them, what should we do? These people said, sir, you're an IS officer. You also came walking. We have been walking throughout our lives. Let's get this road built. I said, no, an SDM cannot do this. This is too big a task. One 92-year-old man stood up and said, sir, you're an IS officer. You said you have cracked this exam. You know, you're supposed to know where the money should come from. We in the village will definitely not be knowing. He's right. So I went back to my office, sat and made a little plan, went down to meet the chief secretaries and the other officials. I asked them, what should we do? Sir, if this road is to be done, what is the process? He said, Armstrong, Manipur is a resource deficit state. If at all we need any project to be done, we need to get central funding. For that, you need to make proposals. You need to make detailed project reports, which will take at least 5 years. As an SDM, I just have 1 year. So the proposal before me, I had 2-3 options. The first option being, either I leave it and say 5 years is too long, I can't do anything. Continue working for the next 1 year. The second is, either I blame all those people for not doing it in the past. The third option is, I do something about it on my own, together with the people. I came back and sat down with the people. I said, this is the choice we have. Let us do whatever we can. I'm going to give a little contribution of whatever I have. I had few savings. I was in the Indian Revenue Service for a year during my training. I told them, I'm going to contribute about 5 lakhs. I have my siblings who are also working. They all will also contribute whatever they can. On that basis, I gave them a challenge. Everyone in the meeting stood up to give whatever they could. Some stood up and said, we will give 3,000 bucks, 2,000 bucks, 1,000 bucks, even 100 rupees. One of the widows stood up and said, sir, I'm going to give all the firewoods that's required for the workers to cook. Some of the youth stood up and said, we're going to do fishing in the river to feed the laborers. It was not easy. It went on for the next 8 months with this challenge. And believe me, it had been a wonderful journey. And finally, we were able to achieve this. I went myself, participate in the process. I sit down together with the workers, eat on banana leaves, spend a night with them. So when people say public policy making, this means you sit together with the people, take feedbacks from them, implement together with them. This made things successful. So this was on the day of inauguration. The challenges thrown to you, the guy in the red shirt, he was the one who challenged me, saying that, sir, I have spoken to so many officers. I have spoken to so many higher-ups in the government establishment. For the last 31 years, I have been my village chairman. Just not happening. And he said, if this happen, I will take care of the fish on the day of inauguration. Fish. He sponsored the entire, food on the day of inauguration. On the 17th of February 2013, we inaugurated this something called the People's Road. And this village, which never saw vehicle in their whole lifetime, they saw more than 250 vehicles on that day of inauguration. So I want to share that this was made possible because we collaborated together, and I believe in the power of dreams, and I believe in the power of collaborations. We took this project and made it successful because we blended very well with the people. When at the time of construction, there was no electricity in that village. There was no internet connectivity in the village. We gave duty to some youths in that village to take photograph of the road construction process. They will bring it to the district headquarters, and then I will get it sent to my elder brother who is teaching here in Delhi. He will make a good story out of it, put it on Facebook. It becomes a public event. It becomes a public news when shared on Facebook. And that is how many, many more people started joining this project. We never ask for donations, okay? We only say that if you want a part of the history making, be it, come and join us. And that is how we were able to complete it. This much you've been studying. Now the bigger news. So in 2020, I came back as a DM of the same district, started the process of converting this road into a national highway, which many of you might not have heard, right? So on 14 March 2020, I came to Delhi, sat down with one of the officials. I asked him, sir, we need to convert this to a national highway. He said, the cost of land acquisition is too much. He's right. Because in India, 2/3 of the amount sanctioned for road construction goes for land acquisition. Only 1/3 is spent for actual road construction. Maybe for UPSC this might be required, I don't know. From 2014 April onwards till 2018 March 31st, Government of India spent about 1,20,000 crores for the road construction, out of which 80,000 crore went in for land acquisition. That means compensation payment. Only 40,000 crores were spent in the actual road construction. So he said, Armstrong, you guys are asking too much of compensation, and land acquisition process is so lengthy. If you actually want the road to be done, your state government should hand over the land. my state government, it's difficult because Manipur is a resource deficit state. To pay 500, 600 crore for land acquisition, it's almost impossible. What I did, came back, negotiated with the people, discussed with the villagers of 48 villages, toured from one village to the others during this entire COVID period for about 8 months. I was touring 21 villages in Manipur, 27 villages in Assam. And we got a written NOC saying that yes, we will give everything for the betterment of our society, for the road construction. And that's how I got their approval, came back and showed this to the same officials. You know what, on October 10th or something like that, I don't remember the exact dates, this project got sanctioned for 3,200 crores. And now I'm happy to tell you that this road is now officially National Highway 137. And I'm also happy to share with you that this is one of the fastest project to be conceptualized and executed. In the last 18 months, we've been able to achieve 75% of the road construction. I think this figure was somewhere in the month of January. By now, out of 98 kilometers in Manipur, by the month of March, 89 kilometers would be blacktopped. Okay? That means we would have achieved about 80% of the progress. So that's what you have not read in the paper, because we did not do any publicity. But I'm happy to tell you that this is one of the best projects that's going to change the life of my people for good. With this road, my district headquarters will be connected to Guwahati in just 6 hours. From how do I convince my people to get this road done? I told them that you just have to sit outside your house in a bus stand in your village. You can go for shopping in Singapore because this is a part of Trans-Asian Highway. After 3 days of continuous shopping in Singapore and Thailand, you can come back. The same bus will drop you at the bus stand outside your house. And this is possible. And it's happening. And it's going to change the way things are in my place. And this will not only change people from my area, it's for entire country. Because the trade routes, as a part of the Trans-Asian Highway, this is one of the shortest possible route that we can think of as of now. Sorry. Now, I don't know if the video can play. Is the volume not there? Oh, okay, let them enjoy. But I would be happy, the last video which I want to play should have audio. It's possible? Okay, so this is how the road construction is going on right now. So how cool is that? The same road which you have grown up walking for 2 days on foot with all your legs swollen, okay? I remember in one of those journeys, along with my dad, I was not able to reach the village, so both of us slept under a big rock, you know? I was damn hungry because we were prepared thinking that we will reach our destination in one journey, in one day, but we could not. So we had to sleep under our big rock without having anything. Now this being converted to a national highway, I could never imagine that this would happen, but this was one of the dreams. And it is so damn satisfying. And this, I believe, has been possible because I'm in EIS. So this has given me opportunities, taken me around the world, taken me to wherever parts of India, including to be interviewed by, I'm sure you must be knowing him. I don't need to name him. I had the chance to interact with Mr. Jack Ma at the World Economic Forum, Davos. You know what is Davos, right? You should be knowing that. I was fortunate enough to be hosted by Sheryl Sandberg of the Facebook, because we used the platform of Facebook to raise funds. When our Honorable Prime Minister visited Facebook headquarters in 2015, September, she quoted the story of this road construction. India is close to my heart. It's where I started my career and where so many of my favorite Facebook story comes from. Like the two brothers from Tamenglong who used Facebook to raise money to build this road. From a village boy who used to tour, walk on foot with his neck being bitten by leeches, to being hosted by people like Sheryl Sandberg, that too at Davos, has been a dream come true. I'm not saying this to make myself saying that I have reached there. No, I want to relate with all of you that background does not actually matters if you have the desire and passion to do well in life. Second thing, by being in this service, I have been given the opportunity to relive my childhood dreams, which I could never as a kid. I was able to give back to those kids who would and had the dreams like while I was a kid. One day at around 3:15, 3:30 in the evening, as I was looking out of my office window, I saw thousands of kids, coming out of class after the classes. So I was talking to myself, wow, Armstrong, as a kid, you always wanted to see what's happening in the DC office. You always wanted to see how does the DC's house looks like. You just can't barge into DC office, right? For no reason. Has any one of you visited DC office? For no reason, I mean. For no reason? कुछ काम नहीं था देखने के लिए गया good, your DC must have been good. You just can't barge into the district magistrate's bungalow, right? For no reason. The security guards will not allow you. So as a kid, I always wanted to see what's happening. So I said, okay, Armstrong, you never had this opportunity as a kid. Now why don't you give these kids a chance to do this, to relive your dreams? I came back in 10 minutes, I wrote a letter to all the schools. Please select 20 kids. Every second Friday of the month, I'm going to invite 20 kids to come and see how my office functions, after which I'll take them for dinner at my bungalow. Okay? So, as you would like to put it, this became an instant hit. Okay? There were too many competitions amongst the children to be there. So I had to increase the frequency to twice a month to make it twice a month, and that too at one instance 40 children each. This was the first day of the interactions. Why I thought I should share with you this is, after this became a big news, I put this up on Facebook, right? So about 16,000 likes. so many other DMs in the country. Not exactly maybe in the same model, but they started reaching out by inviting children to act as a DM for a day, various other initiatives. It started. Imagine the impact I was able to bring about. At the end of these initiatives, about 600 or 800 kids were directly impacted because they came to my bungalow and my office. I asked them what is their vision for the district and what do they want to see. I gained a lot from them, and I also asked what do they want to become in life. These 40 kids, when they go back to their classes, to their school, they shared with the remaining 1,000 kids. In that way, I'm happy to tell you that these kids have seen me, interacted with me, have eaten the same food together in my bungalow. I have changed their mentality about how they perceive DC's office, how they perceive the government officers as. I have told them that we are not bad people. I've told them that you don't have to be scared. None of you wants to visit DC office for no reason. Only say, when your parents ask you to go to an office, you say, you reluctantly want to go, right? Only if your driving license is getting expired, you'll be forced to go. We gave them some ideas that you can visit government office. There are lots of good people in it. And I'm happy that these children will grow up with this mentality. Another thing which maybe after you're successful, you can take cue from all of this. I am someone who, okay, so all of these examples which I'm going to cite are not from those where I am required to function as a normal officer doing file job, this and that. I will not be talking about Narega, I'll not be talking about SSA, Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, National Health Mission. No, those regular works I keep doing, and I keep getting awards also. I'm not going to cite those. These are some of the works which I did out of pure passion, beyond my scope of regular works. Why do I want to share this? I want to tell you that if you want to bring changes, you can actually do it. In 2018, I was briefly posted as the Director of Sports in Manipur government. We had about 5 crores as a budget for the entire state Manipur government Department of Sports. And in 2018, you know, we had these Asian Games. Mary Kom was winning gold medal. My chief minister announced 50 lakhs. Okay, 5 crore minus 50 lakhs. Sarita won silver, 35 lakhs. Then came a big blow again. There is one discipline called Sepak Takraw. You've heard of it? You've not? Sepak Takraw is like, you know, you got a small cane ball. It's played like volleyball but with your foot. It's a beautiful game. Out of 11 players, 8 were from Manipur. First time in the history, India got bronze. You know, out of 11, 8 were from Manipur. So my chief minister announced 10 lakh each. I was worried. Yeah, from 5 crores, all will be given away to the award winner. There will be no money left to actually do some things that I wanted to do. So, of course, that's just, you know, stating the reality. Why I'm stating this is we actually face fund crunches. We do not have much money to do things. So, but I do not give up at that. You know, just because we do not have money, I do not just give up. I say we have to do something. As a kid growing up in a land of football, okay, I could never actually get to kick the actual football as a kid. I never could afford a boot. We used to play barefoot. So when I joined as a sports director, I wanted to start something for the village children. From the government side, we do not have fund. So what did I do? I reached out to some friends working in Tata Trust. Okay, Tata Trust. We sat down together for about 2 weeks. We made a proposal to be funded everything 100% by Tata Trust. We set up 50 grassroots football schools with 50 kids each, including 35 boys and 15 girls, in 50 of the most remotest part of Manipur. And this is in my village, which is like very far off. And these kids, they're wearing new boots, being trained early in the morning. I'm happy to tell you that I was able to realize the childhood dreams which I could never had, was able to give back, not necessarily from the government funding. I was able to get it from elsewhere, just because I had the passion. That's not the end. I don't dream small. When I dream big. In one of my tours to Europe, I was at Madrid. I visited Atletico de Madrid Football Club, which is like, you must be knowing if you're following football. Not Real Madrid. They are opponents to Real Madrid. It's one of the best teams. I visited their football club. The cost of training per kid for a year is about 35 lakhs. Came back, made similar proposal, sent 5 boys from Manipur to be trained for 5 years at a cost of 35 lakhs per kid per year for 5 years. All funded by Tata Trust. You know what? They finished their training, and I'm happy to tell you that some of them are already playing for I-League and ISL. Childhood dreams being made fulfilled, from a boy who could never get to actually kick the real football, being able to send kids to be trained in those, one of the finest international football schools. Another example which I take pride in sharing is this. In life, you will come across so many opportunities, so many chances. It's for you to spot the right opportunities. In one of my visits to the village, a very remote village in 2013, May, I was with one of my friends who is in the revenue service. So this girl was serving tea to my friend and was speaking a fluent English. So I immediately turned my attention to her and said, "What class are you studying?" Listen to this. She said, "Sir, I was supposed to give class 10 exam this February. I was staying as a maid in a house in Nagaland, Kohima, but my mother died in 2011 out of malaria, and my father died of a snake bite this 2011 December. So I have 6 other siblings to take care of. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The man in red jacket is me. Okay? So I was taken aback. Just as a normal officer, I would have just said, "Oh, so sad for you." You know, I would have just gone back from the village and have forgotten about it. I decided not to forget about it. This kept ringing in my mind. "Armstrong, you got to do something about it. You have been put in a place of privilege today so that you can take care of people like them." 2 days later, I told her, "You come to this one school called KGBB, Kasturba Gandhi. I'll make you a cook there. Take your 2 sisters along, let them study class 5 and 6, class 6 and 7. The 2 brothers, I brought them to my district headquarters, let them sit down, let them stay in a hostel. The youngest sister and one of the sister, I let them stay back in the village. The following year, the youngest sister came to stay with my elder sister. The best thing today is that the eldest sister is now the head cook of the school. She's married. Two of the brothers are working. Why I thought I'll put you this photo is one of the girls is passing out her nursing from Bangalore Narayana Rudalaya next year. She just finished her second year. Every year, about 20 girls I send for nursing to do in Narayana Rudalaya. Dr. Devi Shetty gives a sponsorship about 50% on scholarships. The remaining 50%, I make them pay or I raise money to pay their fees. And one of them is this girl who is passing out. I'm happy to tell you that I'm able to change a lot of people's lives. When you are successful, don't forget where you come from. You are successful only when you're able to impact positively the people around you. I take my success not for granted. I take the blessings of people who have been with me in the journey all this while. There have been people who carried 50 kilos of bamboos or cane on their back, walking on foot, just to raise $500 and send me for my college fees. I wanted to give back to them. My family supports a village school with 368 kids in the village. And mind you, we're just not giving a normal, regular education. We want to give them the best. I have bunch of group of good friends, one being Mr. Abhishek, who lives in Dubai, who cares so much. He and his family came to my village. He sends books. We set up a computer centers donated by one of my friend's son, who got his internship money, doing his internship in US. We're teaching these kids, coding, Java, C++. Just because they are in the remotest tribal areas, they should not be found wanting in any of these technologies. And you know what? I'm getting to use this board for the first time. Similar board like this. I think this is BenQ, I don't know. Yeah, then it's a best. I also asked for the best. So I met Dell CSR head. She said, if you want it, you let me know. I say, I want the best, so you choose what's in the best in the market. 75-inch interactive boards. Children in my village are using these interactive boards today as they learn. Because of disruption in the electricity line, last year my village got electricity for less than 2 months in a year. Last year, less than 2 months. So the school was suffering. They funded the entire school to be solar powered. It doesn't really matter now if the electricity is there or not because it's entirely solar powered. Well, to keep your UPSC dreams alive, I thought I'll take the picture of this girl. In 2015 October, I got a random message from Facebook saying that I am this and this. I am raised by a single mother, no other siblings. I've been able to study so far because I've been topping. Class 10 topper, class 12 topper. I'm now in my 3rd year. I'm going to be completing my final exam next year, May. I also want to write UPSC. So next morning I call her up, okay, you send me your mark sheets, this and that, let me verify. She was genuine. So I say, okay, finish your graduation well. She finished her graduation in the month of April. I set up for 100% scholarships in one of the coaching institutes here in Delhi. I connected her with one of my friends who is also in the IS to give her some help of 6,000 rupees a month. In 2021, she wrote UPSC. Of course, did not make it through the mains. But she got through in 2022. She made it to the state service. She got #1 rank in the state service. Well, you guys clap too fast, but that's not the end. She gave interview for UPSC. She made it to the IPS this year. Okay? So that's how people's life can be changed if you keep looking out for opportunities. Coming to the end, you can ask me, okay, Armstrong, you're only telling about your past, right? What are you doing now? Are you still relevant? People can ask me that, right? You have all the freedom to ask me that. People only brags about what's being achieved in the past and nothing much more to do presently. I don't want to be in that part of history. Every day, I challenge myself to see if I can be useful to the people around me. Today, in my present position, you know what do I look after? Films. Very interesting. In fact, Nisha was talking about my meeting. I was supposed to meet today at 3 o'clock Mr. Townsend Clayton, the producers of Fast and Furious series, Justin Lin. Okay? My life is super interesting. I go and attend Cannes Film Festival. Have you heard of that? I was staying in a hotel called La Majestic, which is like just opposite of the Cannes Pavilion. I think in a rent of per night 3,300 euros. I think that comes to about 2 lakhs a night. Of course, I was doing my official work. I was not there for pleasure. Life is interesting. Now, in this, I was first questioning Armstrong, what will you contribute? For a guy who hardly watches 2 movies in a year, that too if Salman Khan releases his movie. Okay? So I'm one of those guys who love Salman Khan's movie because his movie is the best portrays of male ego fulfilling, right? You agree? Yes. You agree, Nisa? It satisfies your male egoism very much. So suddenly I land up here in the films division and I say, like, how do I contribute? I don't even recognize very famous film personalities. One day I was asked to escort Poonam Dhillon, okay, after the award ceremony. Everyone was like coming, Madam selfie, Madam photo. I was like, ye kaun hai yaar? You know? So I stepped back and like I was asking my staff, who is he? You know? She's Poonam Dhillon. Okay, sorry. Now, why I thought I should mention it to you is this. To see if I'm still relevant, I started studying this. And you know what the best thing that I came across in this division? There is something called animation, visual effects, gamings, comics, virtual realities, and many others, where the requirement to give employment is so huge that one of the studies shows that by 2025, you will need about 2 lakh people in this field for the next 10 years. As a civil servant, as a bureaucrat, what's your primary objectives? To solve country's problem, right? To help our countries take better, gain more employment opportunities, earn more revenues. I thought this is one of the best opportunities. And now in my ministries division, I came across this, the Northeast budgetary allocation, which is like 10% of every ministry. You have to spend for the Northeast area. This fund never gets utilized. 2021, out of 6 crore, I think about 20 lakhs used. The remaining surrendered. 2021, 7 crores was there, only 40 lakhs utilized, 6 crore, 60 lakhs refunded. 2022, I joined. I said, wow, this is such a good opportunity. I have 13 crores. Let's make the best use of it. How do I make the best use of it? I say Northeast people are creative. Anyone from Northeast here? I don't see much faces. At least from Assam? Okay. So, Northeast people are creative. If you put 100 people from, say, UP or Bihar, okay? 100 people from Northeast. If you ask who is better in maths and science, okay? People from UP and Bihar will definitely win hands down. But however, if I say conduct a fashion show, okay? After the fashion show, give a judgment on the sense of dressings, makeup. Okay, people of Northeast will surely win hands down because they are more creative in that sense. So I said, this is a field which requires a lot of creativity. I said, okay, let's go for it. We made an advertisement for this animation, 3D animation course. 300 applications in 1 week, conducted a test, started the course, went on for 10 months. This bunch of kids, we provided them everything, trained in Delhi, and I'm happy to tell you that out of 100 boys and out of 97 people who completed the course, 29 of them opted to become an entrepreneur by themselves. The remaining, all of them have got jobs in this field. The next batch application just closed on the 10th. Entrance test is this Sunday. The next course for 100 boys and girls will be held in Bangalore. Am I still relevant? Yes. I try my best to be relevant, to be able to deliver and solve the country's problem. Today at 5 o'clock, I have another meeting with all the filmmakers from different parts of the country. Small-time filmmakers, not those big times who needs government money. No. Small-time filmmakers who faces difficulties in making films. I'm going to have a meeting with them. So, towards the end, I want you to, if you can make the video work, the sound. So, I want you to see one videos where I grew up as one of these. Yeah, great. So, then I'll do it. It was my dream to make the kids walk in a dry ground. The place, the ground where I started dreaming of becoming an IAS officer. We used to walk, do mass march, do parade every 15 August. As a student, as a boy studying in class 3, I had only one set of uniform in a pure mud, totally drenched. After the mass part, I was asking my principal, who is that person hoisting the flag? He said he's the deputy commissioner of the district. He can do so many things. That got ingrained in my mind. I wanted to be an IAS since then. I want you to enjoy this. When I came back as a DM of my district, the ground was still the same. I wanted to change this. I used government fund, the CSR funds, whatever is possible in the district, I put together to make this happen, and this was one thing that made the dreams come true. I want you to enjoy this video. Let's go to the presentation mode. I hope this will play. Volume? Yeah. So, after the ground was entirely done, I was able to take my last salute as a chief guest on the 15th August, and then I left the district. I want to encourage and call all of you to come and join me in the process of nation building as you give this exam. I want you to give your best. It's fun to be in the service. You can bring a lot of changes. Stay motivated and all the best. Thank you. I am running out of time, but I will just take 2 questions if at all of you, if I can answer in short. No questions? Yeah. Make it fast.
The challenges that you talked about, like land acquisition.
Yeah.
So in reality, how you can overcome that challenge? Like you have worked on it.
So you got to give a logic to the people. My logic was very clear. Land acquisition process is very long. My DC tenure is just for a year or 2. Okay? If people want land acquisition, it's going to go for 5 years. Secondly, this highway falls in the category of the principal approval, which has been banned. Not a single greenfield national highway is taken up since 2014. Only if we get this land acquisition process done away with, government was willing to declare this as a national highway. So I did the entire calculation. The land acquisition process is, the compensation amount for a forest land is so less, it's 10 rupees per square feet. However, for a home state land, it is 120 rupees. Right now, it's no roads, no settlement. So I told them that in 2030 or so, whenever the traffic volume increases, by that time it will be the government who says, we want to build a bigger roads. Then we will all get back compensation. That's how I did the entire Excel calculation and showed them. I gave them logics.
So, as you mentioned, you aspired to become an IAS officer since you were in class 3.
Yes.
Then why did you went for physics honors instead of going to the university subjects which can help you prepare the exam?
Oh yeah, that's one question people always ask. Even in the UPSC interview, they ask, oh, Armstrong, you've studied physics, right? Yes. I could have been an engineer, a doctor, right? I love physics. After my 12th, I decided to study physics. When I went for interview in Stephens, I fill up 2 subjects, maths and physics. So when I went to the maths interview, I told the board, sir, I don't want to do maths, okay? I want to do only physics. I told the board before they started asking me questions. They say, why are you here? Because I might not get physics, so I'm here. But I want to make sure that I get physics, that's why I'm telling you in advance. No more interview. I was given physics. I had good marks. So physics taught me to be analytical, critical, be able to see things from all perspectives. Frankly speaking, physics has taught me this. I never left physics. I only utilized the best of what physics gave me. I did PubAd and geography, especially after passing out from physics. It wasn't very difficult to conceptualize and study public ad and geography again. I was able to study much faster. That's what I had the advantage. Okay, boys, no more. Girls?
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, we have always heard that permanent executives, IAS, IUPS have always faced challenges with the political executives.
Yeah.
Is that true, and how did you face that?
See, you got to know how to balance it. We should realize that we are public servants, and the elected politicians are also public servants, just that they are higher category. We take orders from them. But the source of our power comes from the Constitution, right? So, if at all you feel that by taking the instruction of the politicians, you're gonna destroy your careers. यार इतना मुश्किल से ये service मिला, why destroy it for the sake of, obeying them? Leave it. Don't do it. The best thing what they can do, they can transfer you, right? However, you should also know that these politicians have been elected by the people. Whatever adjustment you think you can do, please help them do it. For example, I'll just give you a clear example. In 2015, I was recruiting for staff of the Eklavya Model Residential Schools, okay? So minister gave me a bunch of lists. In log ko teachers lagana hai, kya. They gave me a list. So like, what? I've already advertised for people to apply, and we've got lots of applications, PhD people, MPhil people. I just can't take the list from the minister, right? So I gave them another offer to the minister. Sir, all the LDCs, all the UDCs, all the cooks, all the peons, you can put any of your men. But teachers, let's not touch it because there will be a complaint. Minister did not say no. So I helped him, right? So it's a win-win. The school is one of the best schools in the state now. That's how it is. So there are places where you can do certain adjustment. Don't compromise with your integrity. If you feel that your integrity is going to be compromised by following this one, just give up. I have had that time. It's not that bad. They are good people, reasonable people. Okay? Thank you so much, and all the best for the maybe in the future if we interact again. I will just tell you one of the last instance of my UPSC interview. I scored 225 on 300. Okay? So the last question is like this. You want to listen? Yes, sir. Okay, some are moving out, so. The last interviewer asked me this question. I will not tell you the answer now, okay? You still want to hear? Yes, Armstrong, you are being interviewed to become an IAS officer. You know what is Constitution of India? Yes, sir. Armstrong, you are a Christian, right? Yes. You know what is Bible? Yes, sir. I've been brought up in a Christian environment. I give you Bible in one hand, Constitution of India on the other hand. You have to pick up one and condemn the other. Okay? I say, no, I will not choose, I will not condemn. Second time, same. No, Armstrong, you have to pick up one and condemn the other. Third time, pick up one and condemn the other. I think the answer that I gave them for straight 2 minutes was the one that fetched me 225 out of 300. I will not tell you today. Bye-bye.
Yes, it is not yet over. Please take a seat. Thank you so much. It was indeed a great pleasure, sir, to have you. Your valuable insights, your stories, I think it has literally inspired them. So once again, let's give a loud lot of applause for sir. So tell me, did you guys really enjoy it? Yes. A lot of real life inspirations. To be an officer is actually a difficult thing, no doubt in that. But then to live as an officer, to live with a pride, to live with lot of, that sort of courage to do something for what you have become, to literally serve your country and the people who have helped you is not a joke, right? So sir has come here and I was very, even I myself got inspired by the way he was explaining to you people. What I got, I gave it back. So will you do that? Yes. So once when you become officers, will you do that? Yes. Once again? Yes. With how much of Josh I want to say that? Will you do that? Yes. Wow. Why? And that's the purpose, right? No. Who said no? Let me see that. So now it's indeed, sir, yeah, you can be there, we'll come. Thank you. So I think you had a wonderful session with him. Sorry for the delayed start. Due to certain reasons, we had to start a little late. So quickly tell me, how many of you are freshers here? You can raise your hands, quick. We are running short of time. All of you are freshers. You have no idea about UPSC. Idea nahi hai? Zero idea? Idea hai that UPSC is one of the most prestigious examination, right? So let me quickly tell you something. Yes, please. May I have your attention, please? Yeah. So now this UPSC examination, you have come all the way to Unacademy. Just like every other institute or centers, of course, we have a syllabus, we have our batches running on. But what made you come here is the kind of passion that you had within you to achieve something. So I would like to tell you that this is not a preparation. Those are preparing for the very first time or those are preparing already, please keep these things in mind. UPSC is not just about preparation. It is a journey which will redefine the evolution of your personality. You become what you are in a more refined manner in UPSC. For that, you know what to study. You have a syllabus, you know you have the 3 stages of examination, right? Prelims, mains, interview. You know the syllabus, you know everything. You study everything. But why you study this? Why you study history? Why you study geography? Why economy? Why polity? And how will you study it? These 2 questions are very important. Am I right? So now the exclusive strategies, the tips, the tricks, that is what I actually wanted to tell you people with regard to the preparation perspective. So do you want to hear that? Yes. Quickly? Yes, quickly? How long it will take? I know that the session was from 3 to 5, but then it got extended. So I'll quickly tell you. This UPSC journey, which I will call it as a wonderful journey, you need to understand that compared to any other examination in this entire country, India, I would say that IAS is the mother of all examination. Will you agree to that? Yes. Why? It is the most difficult thing, as people say. And how do you make this difficult examination more simplified? And that's why I've come here, right? So a quick and effective strategy, which I will tell you people is, when you start your preparation, you start with the basic NCRTs. Am I right? Now you tend to read NCRTs. You tend to by heart NCRTs. Mat karo, don't do that. Rather, go for the highlights of NCRTs. There is a way to study UPSC as per the current demand of the examination. If you see 5 to 6 years back, this was not that important. But now, if you see a preliminary examination question paper or your mains or for interview also, nobody wants static portion there. Static means the theoretical concepts there. It is actually a combination, or I would say an effective interlinkaging of the static and the current affairs perspective, which means you have to make your preparation in such a manner where you follow a very simplified approach called as 3C approach. It's one strategy. It's called as 3C approach. The first C stands for a perfect conceptual clarity or understanding of the concept. Be it economy, polity, history, geography, whatever. When you have a clear-cut understanding of the concept, you get to know what is it. So quickly tell me one topic that you love the most. From economy you can say, because I'm an economy teacher also. Budget is actually a discussion thing. Some topic, tax. Tax, inflation, what do you want? Inflation. Brilliant. So what is inflation? Price rise, am I right? When the price of tomato increases from 10 to 20, that's inflation. When your price of petrol increases from 90 to 100, that is inflation. So now, do you need to know the history and geography of inflation for UPSC? No, it's not required. You know what is concept? Just the keyword. What is inflation all about? In simple terms, price rise. But for UPSC, what is the keyword? As per the current demand of the examination, there is something called as UPSC keyword. It is a continuous, I repeat, a continuous or a persistent rise in general price level, which means price rise. But this UPSC keyword you should know. Why? Because the UPSC board will ask you a question revolving these keywords. You got it? That's enough. After that, in the 3C approach, the second C stands for connecting this concept with the comprehensive part of the syllabus. You know what is inflation in NCERT, right? Why you study that? Because for the prelims and mains, you have a syllabus. Doesn't mean that you will study the whole thing. What is inflation? The types, and now what is required for UPSC as to the trends of inflation. So now, after that, the third C stands for connecting this particular concept with current affairs. Not normal current affairs, rather trending current affairs. What is that? Trending current affairs? Do you need to study about inflation of last 10 years for 2024 or 25 examination? It's just 1 year, right? Let's say for example, if you're appearing for 2024 prelims examination, June 2023 to April 2024, that's enough. For a safer side, Jan 2023, Jan, Feb, March, April and May, you know what you do? A quick 360-degree coverage of the topics in the form of MCQs you will do. You will revise just for the fact that you are set with regard to your current affairs. So this simple logic or strategy of 3C approach, concept plus connecting it with what? The comprehensive part of syllabus and the trending current affairs will literally enable you people to clear your examination in a result-oriented manner. It is not about you writing examination. It is not about you studying everything. What is the outcome? Is it result-oriented, right? So if you want to do that, go ahead with this. Yes? And for UPSC, keep one thing in mind. It is not what you study. It is how you study and the purpose, the reason why you study for it. That will enable you to achieve whatever you want in a faster pace. Yes? Very clear? So quickly tell me, how many of you are in your full preparation mode that you will clear in the very first attempt? Come on, you cannot tell me that you cannot clear. How many of you feel that you will clear examination in the very first attempt? Second attempt. Why do you doubt yourself? Why? Kyun? Itna doubt hai? That's okay. Okay, no. Okay, the ones who, okay, no problem. You won't believe, this is interesting guys. If you take a survey of the last 8 years, okay, more than 50, approximately 52% of candidates in India have cleared UPSC examination in the very first attempt. So why? Why can't you people do that? Is it possible now? Yes. Quickly tell me, how many of you want to be the best? I want to be the best, of course. Are you don't want to be the best? Come on, I would call you my young officers, not students. Yes, my young officers, how many want to be the best? In whatever you do, whether studies, dance, sports, whatever. Yes. Okay, now listen, in the UPSC interview, a question is coming. Whether you want to be the best or whether you want to be something more than that. All of us will say we want to be the best. But you know something? UPSC do not want candidates who are the best. Today you are getting, let's say, 80 marks for the MCQs. You are getting only 40. Tomorrow you can end up getting 100 also if you study well. Am I right? There is nothing called as the best concept in the so-called UPSC today. You know something, in a jungle, who is the king of jungle? Okay. There is tiger, there is elephant, there is lion. How many of you love tiger? Tiger, okay. How many of you love elephants? It's very cute, right? Okay. How many of you love lion? You love everything. No, only one. There is no inky pinky ponky, only one. Either lion, tiger or elephant. Majority loves lion? You are like lion. Oh my God, that's amazingly great. Okay, now my young officers. Okay, having said that. Sorry? Yes, please, I didn't hear. Okay, listen. So now, in a jungle, there is a tiger, there is an elephant, there is a lion. But we say lion is the king of jungle. Since childhood, we study that. Am I right? Now you tell me, an elephant is coming inside this classroom. Will you still sit in the classroom? Or a tiger is coming. Will you still sit in the classroom? No, right. An elephant is very huge, hefty. It can kick a lion like this. Yes? Now, a lion is not very huge or hefty like an elephant. A tiger can run very fast compared to a lion. A lion cannot run very fast like a tiger. Am I right? But in spite of that, lion is the king of jungle. Why? Confidence, courage, wonderful. Then attitude, wow. Pride, wow. Even tiger has a pride, elephant has a pride. Very good, very good. Then never. What's your name, beta? You're very nice. Never had a chance to ask. Oh, okay. Listen. Be it lion, be it tiger, be it elephant, they are equally good in their own way. But the so-called attitude, the attitude of perseverance, the attitude of that willpower, no matter whatever it is, I will still survive in the thicks and thorns of this jungle and fight my battle no matter whoever is coming in front of me, big or small. You understand? That unending passion, that unending virtue that you have defines what you are. So now, we can't say who is best among the tiger, lion or elephant. But I can tell you that this lion belongs to a category called as survival of the fittest. So, do you want to be the best or survival of the fittest? What do you want to be? Then yes, you are in for UPSC, my young officers. Yes, you are in for UPSC because UPSC always wants people, no matter whatever. After you becoming an officer, how are you going to lead the country as a bureaucrat in various dimensions? For that, you got to be the one that is above everyone in a different manner. You understand? The so-called diplomatic attitude, the so-called POM, called as presence of mind, all these things are highly important. So that is why in UPSC, they never go for the best candidates today. Is it clear? Now you tell me, I told you 3C approach, right? To make your preparation simple. And I was telling you regarding NCERTs also. Like you start with NCERTs. Instead of reading, what will you do? You'll go through? Highlights. NCERT highlights. And now when you do NCERT highlights, what is the next thing you will do? What are the related or the trending topics based on what you study. And now when you do that from the scratch to the advanced level, you have a clear-cut understanding of what you are doing. Is it clear? Now tell me, what is the most difficult subject for UPSC according to you? Economy? Oh God, really? Maybe, could be. Yes? Polity? Everything is difficult for you people. No problem. See that? Acha, you have no idea which is difficult. Everything is easy. How about everything is easy? Wow, that's amazingly great. Optional. So now, if nothing is difficult for you, let me tell you something. I really love the way you answered. Actually, nothing is difficult. Why? Because except your polity and economy part, remaining everything you would have studied in your school. Am I right? It is just that how you integrate them for the UPSC level that determines your success or victory for the examination. So now in UPSC, as she was asking regarding what beta? Optional, right? What is your question? You just said you want to ask a question based on optional?
No, I said optional might be the
Acha, optional might be the most difficult thing. Do you really think optional is a difficult thing? See, optional subject is given to you. You can choose it based on an interest, based on how well you can score marks in your mains examination. You know, there are so many people who have cleared the examination because of optional, who have also lost because of optional. So choosing the right optional based on your interest matters a lot. How do you choose an optional? How do you choose an optional? How do you choose? Just interest. Hacha, I have so much of interest in economy, so I will go and take that. What about the success rate? Keep three things in mind. When you choose an optional, point number one, I'll quickly say in 30 seconds. Point number one, the choice of your interest. Point number two, let's say for example, he can study history within 30 minutes, 2 topics. It takes 1 hour for her to study the same 2 topics. So now, your deep down interest that you have for a subject shows the less number of time you take to understand and study them. So that is second point. Third point is, are you able to put it out in your answer sheet in a beautiful way or present it in a beautiful way, that particular subject when it comes to your writing? And now the next mantra is 120, 120 days. When you do your preparation, self-preparation, no optional, be it sociology, PABAT, geography, economy, PSIR, whatever, no optional which you have taken should cross more than 120 days of preparation, which means you should not take more than 3 to 4 months, 90 to 120 days. Now, in this 90 to 120 days, daily 3 hours, 2.5 to 3 hours, which means not more than 300 hours you should take for optional. Plus extra 100 hours should be practice. Altogether, 400 hours, that's it. If any subject crosses, optional subject crosses 400 hours, you're wasting your time. This is from experience I'm telling you. So this is the way you will choose your optional. And if you're confused in your optional, list down 3 top subjects that you like. History, PSIR, sociology, whatever you want. Now take most important hit list topics from there. See how fast you are able to study them. Is it taking more time or less time? Start writing it down. You understood? Based on that, you will be able to choose the best optional. Is it clear? May I please have an attention there as well at the back, my lovely boys and girls? Wonderful, wonderful. Is it clear? That is the way you choose your optional. You have any other questions more to ask? Louder.
How we can conquer the fear of CSAT?
People, okay, she has a beautiful question with regard to the qualifying paper which is CSAT. How many of you are well versed in CSAT? Okay. Obviously, see, though you're so good in your GS paper also, when it comes to CSAT, Even a minute mistake will cause a trouble. Am I right? Because if you don't qualify in that, there is no point of you telling that what you are good at GS, right? Your other general studies. So now, for CSAT, the simple mantra is your basic class 10 numeracy. Be thorough with it. Because CSAT has nothing more to do. Your aptitude, your reasoning, all these are simple things. Now the recent trend of the examination is UPSC is focusing more on comprehensions and prezi writing. For that, have you heard about a book called as Wren and Martin? The English grammar book? Please have it. It is an ICSE, ISC board book. They typically take passages and questions from there. So make sure that you go through it properly. And now with regard to CSAT, don't wait to prepare CSAT from the month of Jan. For example, May is your prelims, right? Don't wait till Jan. You start it right from August or September itself. The more and more PYQs you do, previous year questions you do, the more chances for you to clear CSAT is there. Why? Because compared to the other GS papers, if you see, CSAT is always repetitive. It is just that ABC, they ask a question, the next year they'll make it as PYQ. You got the point? So as much as possible, keep doing the PYQs again and again with regard to CSAT. And right now, for the current examination, 24 and 25, please focus on your comprehension part. There is more chances for you to get questions based on that. Because your 2023 examination is based on that. Is it clear? So keep up yourself to that level. Yes? And CSAT is not that you need not fear and all. It is a very simple thing. Those who don't like mathematics, no, even I never loved mathematics or reasoning or whatever. But then, when you want something deep down your heart, you go for it. There is a book called as CSR. Have you heard about it? Competition Success Review. Go through that. Many aptitude questions are repeatedly taken from that particular book as a format. You can actually go through that. Yes? That would ideally help you. Yeah, any other questions you have? You very sure? I hope you had a wonderful discussion with Armstrong Payne sir as well. And I actually wanted to do a full-fledged session with you people, starting from the scratch, about UPSC and other things. But next time when we do the workshop, we'll make sure that a clear-cut strategy with regard to how to make it simplified, your preparation will be done for you. Okay? Go ahead once again, please. Go ahead. Can you please be quiet for a while? My students, she's asking something. Yeah. Okay. Or the mock. What's your name? Nayan. So there is a beautiful question from Nayan over here. Yes? Wonderful, wonderful. That's a spirit and attitude. Yeah, she has a question. Nayan has a question with regard to, what is more important? Should we give more focus on giving more and more mock tests, like 80 to 100 mock tests with regard to examination, or just focus on the PYQ? So now, many toppers, when they come and give a talk to you, they say attend more and more mock. So let me put it as a teacher again, let me put it in a very simplified manner to you. PYQ is compulsory. Okay, you know what is this mock questions? They are called as benchmark questions, which means that based on the similar PYQ, what you do is you tend to have similar questions. You tend to have similar questions based on the PYQ. And now, if you are able to solve those questions which are given in the benchmark questions similar to the PYQ, then you are fit enough for the examination. Did you understand? So now you should literally practice the PYQ not once or twice. Rather, you should practice your PYQ, the same question paper, at least 4 to 5 times. And the mock questions are always based on this PYQ. The more and more you practice, the more and more you become perfect. Practice makes a man perfect. Have you heard about it? Yes. That comes from within. Yes? So now I would personally suggest you to go with the PYQ to understand the nature of the pattern in which the question is asked. And these mock tests what you take will also be of the similar pattern. And you will be able to understand whether these mock questions are of same quality once you go through PYQ. So go through mock and go through PYQ compulsorily. No doubt in that. Yes? And don't wait for November, December to start for you to work on mock. For example, you are studying a topic in the month of June, history or geography. Then and there, on the very same day, what will you do? Get back to your homes. Top hit list MCQs on that particular topic. For example, on climatology of geography, or let's say money and banking of economy. What will you do? Search out the topics. You get the questions, right? Now, though you are well versed in a topic or concept also, how UPSC is asking you a question, that matters a lot, right? So you will be able to understand the way to make your preparation more effective based on that understanding. Start practicing MCQs from day 1 of your class. So all this mock, what you told me, becomes very easier when you give the mock test in the month of November, December. Many aspirants fail to do that. You tend to study the subject, finish it, and then give MCQs and mains answer writing. Don't do that. Mat karo. Stop it. Start from day 1. If you are truly an aspirant who want to get success, you can actually follow this. This is quite practical in nature. Yes? Yes. Very clear? I think this makes sense also. Why people are not able to clear their prelims? Though you think you know everything. Why? There are some people who think that they know everything. Just go give the paper, they'll clear the exam and come. But why? It is not overconfidence or lack of confidence. It is because they never know what to do and how to do in a simplified way. That is a problem. You know something? In many people miss out for UPSC prelims examination, the first stage, because of carelessness, because of simple mistake. So now, there is something called as a strategy. Yes, Beta, what is it? May I please know? You said something? Not you, the girl. You only. Not you, the one before you, the one with the specs. I'll talk to you later, no worries. So now, there are strategies. You have heard about elimination techniques, right? It is very popular technique. You know, a simple mantra these days. UPSC has stopped eliminating options. Hereafter, based on 2023 examination, there is no elimination in the dictionary of UPSC. Rather, it is not elimination of options. It is elimination of candidates. Previously, they wanted more people to clear prelims and then they will catch you for the mains or interview. Now, they want to stop you on the very first stage itself. That is why I can say that as per the current analysis, prelims has become more difficult and unpredictable, whereas mains has become more predictable, to be honest. So you need to have this basic thing in your mind. So what will you do? Follow strategy called as KEC. You can write it down. KEC. For prelims, there is a technique called as keyword elimination comparison technique. Keyword elimination comparison technique should go in a single row. For example, when you get a question, you tend to see what is the question all about. Again, the same inflation as what you told me. Okay, the question is based on inflation. That is not the keyword. Identify the correct or incorrect or not correct statement which comes before the options. Have you noticed it? That is called as primary keyword. People tend to make silly and careless mistakes there. If there is a word called as not correct, you think that UPSC always asks you the correct statements to identify. So that is the primary keyword. The secondary keyword is what the question is all about. It is about inflation or inflation targeting. So now your options 1, 2, 3. Start comparing the given options based on the keyword. For example, inflation targeting or climatology or GST or whatever. And now if you find some extreme words like only, not, whole, fully, exclusively, inclusively, start eliminating it. Once you join, we'll teach you more of that, don't worry. And then you have the elimination. Select the given codes. Option 1. Option A, 1, 2. Option B, 2, 3. Option C, 1, 2, 3. Option D, none of the above. Now, out of the given options in the statements, when you eliminate one option, there comes the elimination technique that has to be applied in the given codes. That once you practice the question with this technique, you'll get to know. But now you have to be very, very smart because UPSC is not about elimination. It is identifying keyword, elimination and comparison technique together. You understand? So be very smart in your approach. Yes? And as Sir said, as Armstrong Sir said, it is about the kind of motivation or the building blocks that you create every single day to stay in this journey of UPSC. You will study very well today. Oh, 1 week, oh my God, you studied very well. Or 1 month you studied very well. What happens after that? Thoda sa I'll take a break na, mera dimag bahut kharab hai, so let me take a break. You know something? That doesn't work in UPSC. That doesn't work in UPSC. The mantra called 3D. You know what is 3D? Not any glasses. You know what is 3D? What is 3D? What is 3D? Discipline. Okay, wow, amazing. Then? Determination. Okay, then? Then what else? That's it? Put it chronologically in an order. Good, good, good. Very good, very good. See, but let me tell you something. The 3D that you should keep in mind is determination. The moment you determine yourself, you're determined to clear UPSC or you want to study for UPSC. That is why you're coming and sitting here, am I right? You are determined to achieve something in life. Now, you have come for this workshop, which means your time and your energy is spent sitting in this chair right in front of me. That is called as dedication. And what is discipline? Wearing acha sa kapada and coming? Good makeup and coming? No. You know what is discipline? The routine, every single day. How you prepare yourself. You may have a break, you may be sick, you may go for a vacation, holiday, marriage, whatever, whatever. But in spite of that, at least half an hour or 1 hour, if you can dedicate for what you want, that shows how dedicated or routine your life is. If you are able to follow something for 21 days continuously in your entire life, 21 days, it is a habit, right? That habit on the 22nd day becomes your nature, inborn quality. Try this for UPSC preparation. You will never feel bored with regard to what you are preparing. Yes? Do this, my young officers. I would love to see you shining in bright colors, breaking all the barriers, and as an amazing young officers, not as a bureaucrat, rather an eminent bureaucrat whom you saw in the initial stage of the session, right? That is what I wish for you people. So come, and once you enroll, you'll get to know what we do here, because that and all, they will tell you what exactly it is, okay? So if you come to Unacademy, don't come to Unacademy to study what is it. Come for why you want to study and how you will study to clear the examination. Is it very clear? Yes? All good? So thank you so much and Jai Hind.